It's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower, our mission is to inspire, and our mission is to provide you, the entrepreneur, with all those resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And today we have the one and only Yolanda K. Davis, who's in the building. And not only is she a super incredible person, I know you're reading her bio below, but she's someone that gets it moving from corporate America to starting your own coaching or consulting practice. She gets the ins and the outs. So first, let me say hello. What's up, Dr. Yolanda K. Davis? Welcome to the building.
Hey, Shay Brown, how are you?
Well, it's an honor and a privilege, a treat and a treasure to be here with you. That's for sure, by the way. And we have this discussion, which is how to take your corporate experience and go start a profitable coaching, that's important, practice. First, corporate experience. What does that even look like these days? What does that even mean these days? My neighbor works from home. My wife works from home. My friends work from home. So what is a corporate experience these days so we can all be on the same page?
Shay, that is a great question because just as you just stated, corporate now has a total different meaning, total different feeling than what we know maybe 4 years ago. Because since the pandemic and since just the great resignation is what we call it, there's a lot of things that have changed for us that have been in corporate America or are still currently in corporate America. So really corporate is if you're working for an organization. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a Fortune 100, Fortune 500, or it doesn't necessarily mean it's a large organization. It's just an organization of people. And these individuals, normally you have a president, a CEO that is basically responsible for the organization, and you play some part in that organization. So that's what corporate is. It could be a ministry, it could be a nonprofit, or it could be, any type of community or group setting.
So what do you say to the person out there saying, okay, I'm in corporate, by the way, or I have a job, I have responsibility, or I'm someone that wants to have more impact in the world. What is the first step, and then the second step, and the third step they should look at when they are ready to start their own coaching or consulting practice?
Well, first of all, the most important thing is one, understand what your purpose is. Understand what skills and expertise that you have to offer to those that you're seeking to coach or consult. That is the first thing. For me, that was the first thing that I really looked at. I said, I'm making an impact in my organization, but I could make a greater impact for individuals that are outside of the organization and individuals that I come in contact with. So the first thing I did is really looked at my skills, what I've been doing for the last 20 to 30 years. And that's what anybody else that's looking to consult, what is it that you're really good at? What is it that you can make an impact in someone else's life? The second part of that is not only understanding your expertise, but also wanting to make certain that it is truly what you want to do because it is a total different environment. Becoming a entrepreneur versus being in corporate, it's different because you have to make the decision that it is you that's going to control your destiny. So that is the second thing. Also ensuring that it's affordable for you. We all have bills to pay. So we want to make certain that this is a step. But here's the thing, Shay, not only is it an opportunity for you to make an impact, but it's definitely an opportunity for you to control what it is that you are adding to your bottom line and what are you adding to your household as it relates to finances, right? So some individuals may not necessarily want to totally leave an organization. They may want to use this entrepreneurial opportunity in order to have that as sort of a side job or side business, but also it could be utilized as an exit strategy for those that are looking to retire, maybe in 5, 10 years. So there's a lot of opportunity there. The other thing that individuals need to know is who they're going to serve. Who's your ideal client? What does that look like? And lastly, just make certain you have the confidence, the patience, and the endurance in order to make it happen.
They're watching you and saying, wow, here's someone that's been there and done it. And what's on the mind, at least in my mind right now, is, well, what's the biggest challenge, right? I have this opportunity now to be a 9 to 5 millionaire, and nothing wrong with being a 9 to 5 millionaire at all, by the way. And there's a lot of ways to be a 9 to 5 millionaire, and they're looking to spend their money, right? They're not investing $50, they're not investing $100. They're going to bet on themselves, and they're going to bet big. By the way, they're going to bet big. And I'd be like, "Hey, Yolanda, I know you do this as well, but what's one or two things that I should look for as I move to get some help crossing this bridge into entrepreneur? Because there's so many places I can start." Here's the question: what should someone look for when they're going to hire a coach or a consultant to help them in that transition?
That's a great question, Shay. So, when you're looking for a coach, the first thing you need to know is what is this individual's expertise? What is their background? Have they done it before? Or if they haven't, what type of experience do they have that could make you this great coach? I mean, some of us know that there are some great football coaches that have been around the game for a long time. They have the expertise, they have the knowledge, but they may have not necessarily played in the NFL, or if they have, it was for a short time, but they became very great coaches. Well, in this case, you want to select someone, one, that you visualize yourself repeating what it is that they're doing, but also someone that has the knowledge, the expertise, and someone that has truly walked in those shoes. Because being a coach in this particular business, what I've learned, and just over the time that I've been in this business, is finding the right coach is essential. And the reason I say that is there's a lot of individuals that are doing this thing, but you have to find the right coach for yourself. I'm not saying that any of them are bad coaches, but there's just some that have more expertise than others. There are some that actually have more experience than others. But then there's also some that you can create that synergy with this particular coach. And I think all of that is important. It's important to be able to have a coach that, one, you can relate to, but two, one that understands the steps that you're taking and the shoes that you're walking in. So for me, it's extremely important that I have a coach, and I have coaches, not only a coach, I have several coaches, but for me, I look at what it is that this person's doing and what are they really good at, and what is their success, right? And what they're doing. So
They're looking and saying, wow, Yolanda has it all together, Shay. She's got this thing figured out. She just says, do this, do that, and do a little bit of this over here. Do you mind maybe sharing a time where, as you would transition, maybe things didn't go right? There was some setback, there was some challenge. What was the lesson that you learned that we could all benefit from? Because, one thing my father used to always say is that the best intentions don't equal the best results, right? So folks, they got the best intentions, but sometimes they don't equal the best results. So my question to you is, along this journey, what was one of the challenges or setbacks you had? How did you bounce back? And what's the lesson that we can take away as the audience?
absolutely. So that is very good question, because I also want to be very clear that this is not a cakewalk. You're going to find some challenges. You're going to have some setbacks. And that's why, one, it's important that you find the right coach. For me personally, when I first started this whole, not adventure, but just pursuing entrepreneurship, the one thing that I could say is that I really did not know um, exactly how to approach the process of choosing a coach. There are some really great coaches, but then there are also some coaches that are beyond what it is that you need. I mean, we all have to take baby steps, as we do in everything that we do. We don't just walk into an organization and become the CEO. or president or even a vice president. We start at some point. Well, this coaching business is the same way. So everyone needs a coach to meet them where they are, at the place that they are, and where they want to be. One. So you want to look at, where are you? What does this coach have to offer? And so for me, when I first started this business, I had a couple of coaches. I had some that made some promises, and some of those promises didn't really look the way I thought they should, because one, I knew what I wanted, but the other part of that is there wasn't really a structured program. And so for me, I wanted to make certain that I had a program that I knew what I was getting into. And it wasn't just, oh, hey, come coach with me, and or come let me coach you, but we'll figure it out as we go. I made that mistake. Not one time, but a couple of times, where I had coaches just kind of figuring it out as they go. So for me, I want to make certain that I have a coach. I know what their program looks like. I know exactly what I'm getting when I get into the program. And so I think that that is very, very key for anyone that's starting this business. Make certain that you have a coach, that have a program that they can be able to say, hey, here's my program. This is what you're going to learn. This is what we're going to, over a course of 90 days, 6 months, a year, this is all that I'm going to provide. And so that's key, because that is one of the challenges that I had personally. And it did. It set me back, not, one time, but a couple of times. So,
Yeah. There are folks that are listening right now and they're looking right below and they're reading the bios. They do, because, that's what's right below here. They're checking out your bio and they're saying, she has this whole IgniteHER network. And how does that correlate with helping me go from corporate America, or use my corporate experience to move into coaching? So here's the question. IgniteHER, they're reading it. They're seeing it below. Number one,
IgniteHER.
Oh,
Not read.
IgniteHER. IgniteHER. I can say, sorry about that. I apologize. IgniteHER. 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 Right below. What is it? What's its mission? And who's the audience for this?
The audience for the IgniteHER Women's Network is, one, any leader that has been in organizations that have a skill or an expertise that really want to use that to start a coaching and consulting business. I have two tracks in the IgniteHER Women's Network. One track is careers. That is for the woman that, hey, I'm not necessarily want to leave corporate America right away, but I do want to be an entrepreneur at some point. But at the same time, I want to level up in my career. Can you get me there? Absolutely, I can. I've done this before. I've been doing this before I became a sole entrepreneur. I was working corporate America, and I had a coaching business on the side. So it's for that person, but it's also for maybe the entrepreneur that want to scale their business, want to grow their business, want to sustain their business, but they don't quite know how to do that. And the number one way to do that, and I say this to everyone, is build the right team. So with IgniteHER, I have a program that really teaches you how to, one, build the team, build your platform, your basis, make certain that all of that is in alignment, because your foundation is essential. But not only is your foundation essential, the people that you have around you. One, you can't do it alone, but we have to be smart, because we're not going to always be that entrepreneur that have the money to go and hire this entire team, right? So we have to start at some point, but making certain that you make the right hire. And I think with my background in HR was one of the things that I think is essential, but it's also one of the things that I think I'm really, really good at. So that is what I offer in IgniteHER. There's two tracks. There's a business track, and then there's a career track.
Where does this passion come from? Because, I could hear the excitement. I mean, you were excited earlier. We got it. We could feel where your heart was. But as soon as you said IgniteHER, it's like all of a sudden I felt like, whoa, you went up like another 10 decibels, if I could say it like that. And I could see it in your eyes. We could hear it in your voices. We're all watching now. And so we're wondering, where does this passion come from? Like, where is this deep desire you have to really serve other folks when you don't have to do this. You could go off and be a mom. You can go off and be a wife. You can go off and help other folks in other areas. But we could hear this ignite her. It's like, whoa. It's like, this is my jam. So question, ladies and gentlemen, is what's the backstory to ignite her? And two, where's this passion come from?
Well, the backstory to Ignite Her is I was talking to my coach one day, and he's like, the one thing that you really, what you're missing, yes, you're a great leadership coach. Yes, you're a great executive coach. You can do all of that. But I hear your passion when you talk about women and just women in general and how you want to help them. And so that is kind of how Ignite Her came about, because it's not just for even a leader. It's really about igniting women to take their place, to take control of their destinies, unapologetically pursue their success, find happiness and success in life, their career, and a business if they choose to. But we want to do it unapologetically. So many of us have dreams and aspirations, and we're just afraid to get started. So Ignite Her, and yes, I do have a passion. Ignite Her starts because I want to ignite the woman to stop dreaming and start doing. And so, because of my experience, because of the things that I've done in the past, and one of my mottos is I can take you from the mailroom to the boardroom. That is true. I've done that before, and I do it over and over again, where I take individuals that have the passion, have the desire, but they don't quite know how to get there. And they need a little confidence boost, a little empowerment to get there. So that's why when you see me smiling, yes, you're right. I come alive when I talk about Ignite Her, because there's so much opportunity there.
You know, I can hear someone saying, wow, this sounds incredible. I'm curious, what is Yolanda's secret to balancing it all, to time management, if I can use those words? I hate to use that word, to being able to do it all. Cause like, hey, Yolanda, you're right. I got experience at the office, so I'm a little bit busy there. Oh, wait a minute. I'm also a wife, or I have children. Some are older and some are younger. Oh, wait. I'm involved in the community. No, you understand. I'm in this organization, right? I'm a sorority member or whatever organization I'm in. I've got a lot going on. And so the question is, what is Yolanda's philosophy on balance? And number two, because they don't want to sacrifice their family. They don't want to sacrifice their marriage. They don't want to sacrifice what they were born here for. So what is your words of wisdom to someone that has to balance it all? And then how does Yolanda really manage so many different moving parts on any given day?
I do have a lot of moving parts, because just as you stated, I probably serve in every area. And so one of the key things is understanding balance. Self-care. Number one, self-care is not almost number one, because you have to take care of yourself first. Because if you don't take care of yourself first, then everything else, it don't add up, right? And so what I do is I teach women how to really balance it. We all know that, and I heard someone say the other day, actually it was a psychotherapist, she talked about it's not really balance, it's harmony. And because nothing will ever balance out, as you know, there's a balance with, scales, right? And a balance is when the scales are equal on both sides. Sometimes things will not be equal. There are times when things will have to be, you take priority over something else, but you have to understand what's priority. And one thing that I always say is never neglect your family, your marriage, your children, your faith, and I think all of that has an alignment, right? It all has to align, and I think that we start there. The other part is we start with who we are. We start with ourselves, taking care of ourselves. The most important thing is creating boundaries. If you create boundaries in certain areas, and you know it's time to say no in something, time management, have a schedule, because there was a time when I was balancing work and my side business, right? And so with that, I had to make certain I had to take care of what was in front of me. That was family, and there was also the job. But then I also had the community. I was youth director at my church for the youth. In the sorority, I had a lot of things going on. but I made certain that I prioritized it. I kept everything on schedule. I had time management, but also I set boundaries. And I didn't cross the boundaries, and I didn't allow anyone else to cross those boundaries, because that is extremely important when you do this. One, you can't do it with burnout. You'll get burnout really quick. And so you have to strategically set yourself up for success. And so that is part of the blueprint that I actually teach, is how do you set yourself up? Actually, time management and self-care and setting boundaries is all part of my program. So when we talk about Ignite Her, we're not just igniting a person in their career or their business, we're going to ignite them in their lives as well, on how to find happiness and lifestyles and things like that.
So when you're not out saving the world, and I've had opportunity to be behind the scenes with you, had opportunity to be on some cool conversations, even break bread with you, by the way, a number of different places and spaces, and I know where your heart has. And ladies and gentlemen, here's someone who really, and I don't say it's about every single guest, although I believe they probably do, but she does have a really a heart to serve. I mean, she really does. So the question is, what do you do for fun? Like when you're not out saving the world, igniting her, and making things happen, what do you do for fun?
I do a lot of things for fun, but the most important thing is and it may not be fun to everyone else, but I'm a reader. I also enjoy traveling.
First of
And
all, you can't tell us you're a reader and leave us hanging. Like you can't just say, "Well, I'm a reader," and just leave us hanging. They're like, "Okay, Shay. Well, what does she read, or what is the last book she read?" Or Shay, ask her a question. What's one book she would recommend to someone who's watching right now? And they're like, "I just want to know what's on her reading list." Well, you can't leave us hanging.
you're right. You're right. You're right. I am. I love to read. And a couple of books that I really, really like. One, I love all John Maxwell. By the way, I am a John Maxwell trainer. So I love all of John Maxwell's books. So there's not just one. I say read them all. Anything by John Maxwell. The other one is that I really, really enjoyed was Ignite Your Power. And I'm looking over at my book, okay, shelf. I got tons of books over there. Um, uh, by Eric Thomas. It is amazing. He has an amazing story. And if you ever want to feel empowered, or you ever want to feel as if, hey, I can do it, read that book. It's amazing. The other one is, there's a book called Start With Why, by Simon Sinek. I like that book as well. So there's several books that.
Good. Now you mentioned you like to travel, so of course we want to know where has she traveled? Number one, and it's so unfair because I know you travel a lot of places, but you got to give us a few places you traveled to, and then of course, what was one of the spots you're like, yeah, like I want
Listen,
to go back there? That was like the jam of jams. So, come on, this what does it have to do with going from corporate America to who knows? But this is Yolanda. I want y'all to have all of Yolanda and get a little bit of who she is and what she enjoys doing.
absolutely. So I've traveled. I but I can tell you my favorite place, no matter where I travel, and I've been pretty much all over the world, except there's still some destinations that I plan to hit up, hopefully even this summer. But the place that I can continue to go back to over and over and over again is Jamaica. And I tell people, they're like, Jamaica, anyone can go there. It is, because it's so relaxing. It takes all the worry away when they say no worries. And listen, it takes all the stress away. There's one place in particular that is very I guess you would say it really removes you from all the hustle and bustle and all the stress. There's a place called Secrets over in Jamaica that I absolutely love. It's one of the resorts there. And so that is probably my absolute favorite place to go, because I can really unplug there. And
Cool.
so,
Secrets is amazing. I've been there. I love it. It is a very relaxing place. Hey, see, we got something in common amongst
yes,
other things. I like to go to Secrets too. We don't get
it
paid by
is.
Secrets, but still, I like the resort.
Absolutely. So you know exactly what I'm speaking of when I talk about
Mhm.
secrets. So
Mhm.
that is probably one of my absolute favorite places. But as I stated, I've really traveled all over the world. My kids were in track and field when they were very young, so they took me all over the world. My daughter was a collegiate as well as she was on the A team for the Junior Olympics. So she's taken me, not Junior Olympics, for the Olympic team. She's on the A team, which is basically the practice team for the Olympics. So my kids have taken me all over the world, all over the country. So I have a lot. I've traveled. I've been traveling probably for the last 25, 30 years. So
A proud mom. A proud mom. You hear the proud mom? Come on. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm sure the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I'm sure of that. I'm confident of that. I always remind my kids of that. It didn't come too far. You didn't just get this by osmosis. Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. But anyway,
Absolutely.
we have a segment here, Yolanda K. Davis, and we're talking to the one and only Yolanda K. Davis, by the way. A segment called Today is My January 1st. And for those folks that are family that show up every Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. at night, you can go ahead and say that right now. Today is my January 1st. And for those folks that are showing up for the very first time, welcome. We're glad to have you as part of the family. Today is my January 1st represents one of our personal mantras. And it means that you get a fresh start. Today is my January 1st means you get a do-over. Today is my January 1st means your past, whatever that past is, no longer equals the future, that you don't have to wait till December 31st at 11:59 p.m. on the back of a napkin after a couple drinks to say, I'm ready to get going. You can get going now. So my question to Yolanda K. Davis, and when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what do you hear? And what was one of your January 1st moments?
So you're right. Today is my January 1st. Every day I wake up, it's my January 1st because what I do is I take everything that was good, I take it forward with me. If it was bad, if I felt like it was a failure, guess what? I leave it behind and I use it as an opportunity, a learning moment. So today, it's time to move forward, create those opportunities for myself and for others to be greater and make a better impact on this world. So I tell everyone it's my dad's number one words, and it was always his advice to me: nothing beats failure but a try. And so, as today being your January 1st, you must try. You must create an opportunity for yourself in order for you to succeed.
First, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. How can, two questions. Number one, what type of clients are you looking to take on today at your firm, if any? And how can folks that are watching best connect with Yolanda K. Davis?
Well, first of all, I'm looking for any woman or any individual actually, but any woman that is looking to ignite themselves. If they are lacking confidence, if they are lacking a blueprint and how to move forward, whether it's in their career or their business, I want them to reach out to me. They can find me at www.coachyolandadavis.com, or on Instagram, I am Yolanda K. Davis, or Facebook, Yolanda K. Davis. I would like to put a plug in here. I have a 3-day intensive coming up on June 13th through the 15th. Jump in there. It's free information, but it will be intensive. I'm offering a lot of information there. This is for the leader or the entrepreneur. So jump in there. You can find me again, at www.coachyolandadavis.com, or I am Yolanda K. Davis.
Well, first, let me say again, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. I appreciate you taking time. And you can always make more money. We understand that, but you can't make more time. And so we've been blessed with the most precious resource you have, which is your time. Before we close out, I do want to ask one final question, which is, of all the mentors you've had, and I love asking this question because we, the audience, gets the benefit from your mentor or one of your mentors. You had so many along this journey of life, but what's one mentor that you had along this journey, a lesson you've learned from that mentor that you can pass on to us, the audience?
My biggest mentor is my mother, believe it or not. That was the first woman that I saw in a boardroom. I have to be very honest. Actually, she's 92 years old now, but I can remember her going every third Thursday of the month. There was a board meeting. But what I saw is a woman that defied the odds, a woman that had a lot of tenacity. You can only imagine in that time, in that space, being an executive and a Black female. You know, we talk about hidden figures. She was one, but she was a mentor for me because what she did is she showed me what could be done. She showed me what success looks like, and she showed me what it meant to defy those odds that are stacked against us.
So well said. Thanks so much. Thank you for being here on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. You can tune in Monday through Friday, daily, I should say. Just tune in daily at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube at I am Shay Brown. I want you to know that you're awesome because you're here. You're amazing because today is your January 1st. And because you have oxygen going through your lungs and you woke up, your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. With that being said, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember this, though. Remember this. Time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So you got to live in that moment and you got to make it count. God bless me. Wish you success. Thanks a lot, Yolanda. We out. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Peace.